So many of us spend more time than we'd like to admit scrolling on social media. So, what exactly is it that makes social media sites just so addictive? Well, you may be surprised to learn that a lot of the initial creators of social media sites and some of the top level teams on social media sites have actually been trained in how to enforce habits on someone, essentially, how to get someone addicted to something. And as a result, they've used a lot of that learnings in the platform to keep you on the platform. Why do they want you to spend so much time on the platforms? Because the more time you spend on the platform, then the more they can learn about your behavior, the more they can get an idea of what it is you like to look at, what it is you respond to. And so it paints a picture of you as a person. And as such, they can deliver these highly targeted ads to you. The more targeted those ads are, the more likely you are to click on them, and the more money the social media platform makes. So of course it all comes down to money, because these are businesses after all. They want you to spend as much time as possible on the platforms for that reason. Not only is it a case of the longer you spend on the platform, the more ads you'll see, the more likely you are to click on an ad, but the more machine learning is going on and learning all about you and your behaviours, which means it can deliver the perfect ads just for you. So when you see ads, take a look at them and think, actually, how relevant is that to me? And it's probably in line with how much time you spend on social media. If you're not on there much, they might not be that relevant. If you spend a lot of time on social media, you might find those adverts are super, super relevant. So what do they do then to make the sites addictive? Well, the first thing is the endless scroll. Have you actually noticed this? Now, I remember back in the early days of Facebook, when I first joined Facebook many years ago, nearly 20 years ago now, I remember you had to click. I mean, there wasn't even smartphones then, so we're talking about desktop, but you had to click to go onto page 2 and click to go onto page 3 of the feed. Now, of course, it just keeps going. It's all one page, the endless scroll. There's no kind of brain stopping disconnect where it asks you, oh, you finished this page now. Do you want to go on to page 2? Because chances are there will be a question in our brain of like, oh, actually, yeah, I've done enough for today. I'll stop scrolling. All right, I've got stuff to do. But because there's no sort of end point, we keep going and we keep going and we keep going. So the endless scroll definitely plays a huge, huge part in this. Then the next thing is just how much they learn about us as a platform. Again, back in the early days of social media, in fact, not even that long ago, everything was delivered to us in chronological order. That meant we could say, jump on Instagram. We would look at, say, 10 posts. We would put our phone down, and when we picked it up again, we could kind of go through all the posts to the point where we were at last time. And we're like, right, I'm up to date. And we can put our phone down again. Whereas now we're never up to date because it's no longer delivered to us in chronological order, in the order in which it's been posted on there. Instead, the algorithm decides what it's going to show to us. And so it can keep showing more and more and more content. How does the algorithm decide what to show to us? Well, it's all based on our behaviour. It's learning about us. If it notices that I've been spending time looking at reels of Harry Styles on Instagram, guilty as charged, then it's going to show me more Harry Styles content. And so I'm going to spend more time looking at that. So the more things we look at, the more we're showing to them what it is we want to see, and the more it's going to deliver that to us. And so it kind of is self-fulfilling. The more time we spend on there, the more it's learning, the more great stuff they're going to show us that's really relevant to us, and then the more time we spend on there. And of course, now we're not just looking at the content of people we follow, but it's going to be delivering content to us from people all over the world. And so there's always opportunities to take on more and more and more content and never stop. So the fact that we're spending lots of time on there means it's learning lots of things about our behaviours, and then it can deliver the content to us that it thinks is most relevant to us, because then we're going to spend more time on there. So that is another reason that they are addictive. Now, what does addiction come down to? Well, it actually comes down to what goes on in here, your brain. And the main hormone to do with addiction is dopamine. So dopamine is our reward hormone. It's our pleasure hormone. It's the thing that our body or our brain keeps seeking more and more of. We want more dopamine. We want that release. So let's think about it in terms of a slice of cake. You get this lovely, beautiful slice of cake. And even before you start eating it, you've got that kind of little rush, haven't you? That little, oh, I'm excited, I'm happy. Oh, I'm going to eat this chocolate cake. And when you're eating it, oh, it tastes so good. You've got all this pleasure going on. You finish the cake and it's kind of like you just go, ooh. So why is that? Your brain has released dopamine, and then because it wants another dopamine hit, it's kind of telling you, go and get another piece of cake. It'll feel great. I'll feel great again. And it's why we kind of keep going back for more and more. And it's exactly the same with social media. We want more and more and more because probably at some point, probably many times, we've picked up our phone and we've looked at something that's given us that pleasure. Now, that could have been when you first got your smartphone. That could have been years and years and years ago, but your brain remembers that feeling. So you've picked up your phone, you've seen something amazing and pleasurable and wonderful, and it's made you feel happy and fulfilled. And so your brain associates that with looking at your phone, that pleasure and that dopamine hit, that dopamine being released as being associated with your phone. As a result, we're looking for that dopamine hit. We want more of it. And so we're going to reach for our phone more and go on social media more to get that dopamine hit. Even if actually 99% of what we see on there isn't going to give us that dopamine hit at all, our brain is seeking it. And then when it finds it, it's like boom, 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 the reward is released again. And so again, your brain is saying, hey, Sam, just pick up your phone again for me and give me that little dopamine hit. Now, surely you think, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? Surely we want dopamine. That makes us feel happy. And it's back to my previous point of 99% of what you see on there won't release that dopamine, won't give you that hit. Your brain is looking for it, and you will get a kind of release of dopamine just from picking up your phone, but then it will feel unfulfilled when it's not getting what it really needs. And so it will encourage you to look at it more and more and more. It's almost like your brain is detached from you, and it's like a little person on your shoulder saying, come on, Sam, scroll a bit more, just keep scrolling, we'll find it eventually, we're looking for that hit. Now, the thing is, by doing that, we're actually missing out on things in our life that will probably give us more pleasure and more happiness. But that's addiction, isn't it? You know, that's what the nature of dopamine is. It's chasing that hit. And that is another reason we just find ourselves always drawn to social media and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So you are not alone in this. If you do spend more time than you'd like to on social media, it's not just you, it's all of us, because that is how the platforms are designed. They're designed to keep us on there as long as possible. The good news is there are steps you can take to reduce your use, and I would love for you to check out my course, Reduce Your Phone Use. It's both a video and an ebook. It's a short course. You do not have to spend hours and hours on this. It will just talk you through the reasons behind why your phone might be impacting you negatively, and then some steps you can take to reduce your phone use. Spend less time on social media. This course is only about reducing your phone use, not stopping your phone use. I love my phone. I just try and not spend too much time on there. I'd love you to check it out. I'll pop the link below. And I would love to hear from you in the comments about whether you think you have a social media addiction and whether you put things in place to stop you scrolling on your phone. Take care.